Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another pick a card reading here at Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with how do people view you based on your looks. Honestly, this is my first reading back since everything has happened, and my heart is still broken. And I am just doing my best to get back into a routine, which has been extremely difficult. If you are wondering what it is that has happened, I will always note on the community tab what's going on so that I don't spend your pick a card readings or your readings talking about what's going on personally, because it can get a little bit out of hand. However, a quick note here is that I had to put down my dog, who was 15 years old, and I've had her since she was a puppy. And it's been a heart-wrenching time because this is the first dog that I have owned from puppyhood to seniorhood, and I had to make the decision to put down, not a family dog that the family made a decision. And so this was very, very difficult for me. So that's out of the way. If I talk too much about it, I'm going to start bawling my eyes out. So that's just a part of the process, though. I'm still in the process of grieving. I don't know how long it's going to take. It could take weeks, it could take months, it could take a year. I just know that my main goal is to get back into a routine. I want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that has joined me, said prayers with me, who's been here on the channel, supporting the channel, who has understood what it is that I'm going through. With you guys, I don't feel so alone. So thank you for that. If you are new here, apologize that you're coming at a rough time, but life is life and it will always continue to happen. And so this is a safe space for everyone, that you can be human and you're allowed to be human here, and welcome. Okay, so with that being said, today, if you're interested in following me on over at my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, you'll find the link down below in the description box. I am behind on that. I'm behind on everything right now. It's been one family emergency after the other, and so I pray and pray and pray and pray that this is kind of the last one for a while, because I need some mercy. I need it. So that's below. If you would like to support the channel, you'll find the links down below. And also, if you are interested in getting a private reading, please send me an email. I will let you know what my schedule looks like. I do only have a finite amount of slots open, and I am in the process of getting caught up from before. So hang with me, but if you send me an email, we can go ahead and see about getting you scheduled out, and I will get you further information. Go ahead and get into the prayer. I don't feel like I'm the only one that needs mercy. So today's prayer is going to be about that, because life is hard. As beautiful as it can also be equally devastating. That's what makes it wondrous. So my beloved source, the prayer today is for anyone and everyone on here who's struggling with something that's personal, that's heartbreaking, that's heart-wrenching, that maybe is putting us in a space or an area where we're just not able to really move and we're feeling stuck. I ask that you bring us mercy. Mercy from life. Well, you cannot necessarily take away the bad happenings in life. You can provide us with comfort, with clarity, with love and support. And these are all the things that I feel like we all need right now, because we all struggle. And we all feel the experiences of life, and that's what makes it human, is to feel the good and the bad, and to know that that's what makes it a well-rounded experience. I ask that if the tears need to come, that you give courage to those who have been fighting them back to shed those tears. I ask that you give strength to those that need to move forward and regather themselves. But above all, I ask that you show each of us mercy. Because yes, we are living the human experience. That is the reminder to us all that we are indeed human. And we will indeed cry and scream and fall down and hurt and laugh and love and experience all the joys of life. I ask that you engulf us in your unconditional love at this time. And as these words are spoken unto this space, so shall they be. Amen. Oh, I say. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I promise you guys, I won't be crying the whole reading. It's just... right now, because I have to explain things. So, let me take a breath. And let's go ahead and choose from the Intuition Oracle today. Let's find out what's going on. So, Source, what Oracle card will help us understand how do people how do people view the collective based on their looks? How does the collective view how do people view the collective based on their looks? Hang with me, guys. I will get back into a routine soon, but I gotta start, and I'm gonna be human today, so... What Oracle card will help us understand better? How do people view pile number 1 based on their looks? Thank you very much. What Oracle card will help us understand better? How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Source, thank you. Okay, and for pile number 3, how do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? What Oracle card will help us understand this better, Source? Just one card, please. What Oracle card will help us understand how do people view pile number 3 based on their looks, Source? Thank you. Okay. Awesome. We made it through, guys. For pile number 1, we do have this beautiful bloodstone for you to choose from. Or this image here. Okay. For pile number 2, we do have this beautiful rhodochrosonite for you to choose from, or this image here. Okay, and for pile number 3, we do have this beautiful tiger's eye for you to choose from. Or this image here. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you are drawn to, that should be the pile for you, keeping in mind that they are general readings. So please take what resonates and leave what does not. And always remember that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with you to get you out more resonant readings. With that being said, I will see you over on your perspective pile. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to pile 1, or if you chose this bloodstone or this image here, this is going to be a reading on how do others view you based on your looks. We will check this out towards the end of the reading. Put that up there. Okay, first things first, keeping in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Knowing that as you like, comment, and subscribe by interacting with the channel, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with you and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you're interested in supporting the channel further, getting a personal reading, or following me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, you will find all those links down below in the description box. As for personal readings, I do ask that you send me an email first. I will get you the information at that time, as well as letting you know how many slots are available and what the scheduling looks like, just due to my family emergency or situation, if you will. I am a little bit backed up. If you're wondering what that is, just for time's sake, please check out the community tab, as that is always going to be on there for you guys to check out. Okay, so I think that's everything. Give me a moment too on my podcast, as I'm behind on that as well. So I'm just behind on everything, as this is the first reading back since everything happened last week. So we'll ask the dice first, and then we'll go ahead and move into your cards. So for pile number one, Source, how do people view pile number one based on their looks? Source, how do people view pile number one based on their looks? So we have 5th house, Pisces, and Venus energy as a romantic at heart. I needed a laugh, pile one. Thank you. So yeah, they see you as somebody who's very romantic looking, like someone that either they would like to romance, but really this is like that classic Romeo and Juliet type of energy. It's like not that ill-fated love or anything. It's just like that, like Shakespearean energy, like deeply romanticizing you and thinking like you're things that maybe you probably aren't, right? I mean, it's not to say that you're not a romantic at heart, but a lot of people will romanticize the idea of you, and that's absolutely what people do with you based on your looks, pile one. You may have Venus in Pisces and Venus. Also, Pisces in Libra. I believe these two are Venuses that will give you kind of like a cartoony look. And they are just very beautiful by nature. It's not to say that other Venuses aren't, but there's something about these two Venuses that are very alluring to people. Now, don't take it personal if you don't have that. It does not mean that you're not very good looking or alluring either. You could just have a very unique aspect about you, but there's something that I'm getting here with the eyes. There's something that I'm also getting with a face, like something that's a very symmetrical face, a very cute nose, like a very defined lip line. Something about you and the way you look. People would love to... they would just really love to date you or to be with you or just to be connected to you, because they feel like it would raise their status. Like it's almost like, how do people view you is that you're so popular, and you probably are like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not popular at all. I don't have very many friends. Or maybe you do have a ton of friends, right? But people see you as somebody who would just naturally be popular because of the way you look. These all together feels very superficial, especially with the Piscean energy in the middle here, which gives you that superficiality. It's just not always going to be real. It's an illusion, right? It's something that, judging a book by its cover. And so, which is exactly what we're talking about today. How do they view you? They view you as somebody that's fun. They view you as somebody that's mysterious. They view you as somebody that is good with self-care, like you take good care of yourself. You're constantly always like focusing on yourself, and not in a selfish way. This is somebody who's willing to go the extra mile to ensure that they feel good about themselves. And so this is how people view you based on your looks. You may always show up dressed to the nines. Also, I'm getting a message here that some do view you as the clothes that you wear is like your armor. Or your makeup. It's your armor. You always go dressed this certain way. So like I was saying, like to the nines, but it's like your armor in life. Like if you're not dressed that way, it's almost like you come off as an entirely different energy. Like you're not actually in that strength. So it does feel like there's some sort of armor here that you're putting on every day. That's just a message that's coming through. It feels very specific. But they view you as somebody that's very beautiful or handsome or good looking, gorgeous, just magnificent. And they would just really like to be connected with you and part of your circle, because if they were part of your circle, it's like they could almost be like, oh, well, I'm friends with pile one. Like that gives me some kind of raised status, I guess. Some people are silly when they think these things, like, I just want to be like, really? Like, how does that work? So we're gonna be real about it today. We're gonna get from my traditional tarot, and then we are going to get from one of the other decks that I have. I've got plenty to choose from. We'll see what comes through for you. So there might be some good, there might be some bad. Remember, this is people, their opinions. It does not make it true, okay? So source, how do people view pile number one based on their looks? And then I think at the end we will get some description messages if we have time, just because, you know, they're fun. They're fun to get. So source, how do people view pile number one based on their looks? Okay, thank you. How do people view pile number one based on their look? You're very, like there's a very masculine energy that's coming through here, but like emotionally balanced. You may not show a lot of emotion, or when you do, it's just not very much. Like, it's not to say that you're not an emotional person. It's just like when something happens, it would normally break down most people and make them totally incoherent and unable to perform life. Like you are someone that doesn't do that. And so they feel like that's because of your looks. Like, oh, because you're good looking, like you're able to withstand a lot more than the normal person, which is kind of a weird belief, but okay. All right, before we find out, let's get the whole story out. Interesting that we would start with 3, the Empress in reverse, and have the 3 of Swords in reverse here. And remember, don't take the negative energy personally, okay? Like, I just feel like I need to say that. Yeah, again, the superficiality, like, okay, what was I saying here? That superficial is very superficial coming through. With Pisces energy, it is an air of superficiality, but then we also have the Popess in the reverse, which talks about very surface level. So it's not to say that you are, but their belief is that you're someone that's very superficial, that is, again, you care about your looks. Like I was saying, you dress to the nines, like putting on this armor, and so it's like they don't feel like you could ever back off from that, and they view you as someone who's always impulsive and taking unnecessary risks and not willing to build a foundation before you act, and sometimes things may make you fall backwards in life. Like you don't have the protection that you would like, or the protection that you need. And you have a lot of partnerships. Look at all these reversals coming in. This is weird. Yeah, look at this, Ace of Cups. We have the Emperor in reverse. Sometimes you can seem as manipulative. And again, these are people's opinions of you. Does not make it true, okay? I just feel like there's some people I need to remind that of, because like when the cards are talking about how people view you, it's like, oh, well, that's not who I am. No, you're right. None of this is, because people aren't getting to know you on a base level. This is how they view you. This is something that's very surface level. It's not who you are at the core. This is something that it's a snap judgment, is, if you will, right? Judging a book by its cover. It's a snap judgment. Yeah, they think you a manipulator, like a manipulator. They think that you only love yourself. You can't love another person. I feel like they view you as someone who's easily capable of breaking a contract, but also like falling away from people. Like the reason that you don't have people around you is because you easily walk away. And you may have had to walk away, Pile One. You may have had to walk away from people who haven't served you a lot. And so there could be a lot of people around you who have seen that. And instead of seeing the fact that you were actually saving yourself and saving your energy, they saw it as, oh, this person is uncooperative and they're incapable of building and being a team player, and they're just very superficial. They only want money, or they only want nice things. They only want to look a certain way. They don't want to build anything. They'd rather just be erratic in the way that they approach life and not have any sense of what real receptivity is. And that's not the case at all. Like, this is a very, you know, when people see a blonde, that's what I'm getting right now. Like, they're showing me someone that's a blonde, and it's like you have that snap judgment of, oh, it's a dumb blonde, right? And that's not true at all. Like, actually, there was just an interview that came out. Well, I don't know if it just came out, but there was an interview with Paris Hilton, and she was talking on one of these talk shows in her normal voice, and everybody was like, wait, is this your actual voice? And she's like, yeah, this is my actual voice, not the character that I play. And she was it was just so different, but that's the thing. And then the other one was Marilyn Monroe, and how all the roles that she got were dumb blondes, but she was an incredibly intelligent woman. And so a lot of people view you based on your looks as that iconic, cliche, oh my gosh, they fit into this. So like, if you're a guy and you're really muscular, like, you must just be some dumb surfer dude or some dumb jock, right? Like, that's the type of energy that's coming through here, which doesn't make it true at all, but that's how people view you based on their looks. But that's the weird thing about it, is that people still want to be connected to you because they feel like if they were connected to you, that they would somehow have clout, because they believe that you have a lot of followers or a lot of options. Maybe being with you would present them with more options in life, which, that's just feeding off of people, right? That's just being crazy. People are so silly. Let's get this. Alright, Source. How do others view pile number 1 based on their looks? Yeah, and like I said, there's like a masculine energy coming through here. It's like, oh, your emotions are balanced. Your emotions are balanced. Like, they want to be able to approach life from an emotional standpoint like what you do, but there's no real receptivity to you, right? Like, you have both of these feminine archetypes in the reverse here, which means that you're probably standing firm in your masculine energy right now because it's time for you to do so. You're being active, you're taking action, you're in that yang energy instead of the yin, and you're doing what you need to, and you're coming across as very aggressive. But it's not that you're aggressive, it's that you know how to follow your goals, and you know how to do what's necessary for you. But there's something about your face here that keeps coming through, like the way it looks. That's what people are like enamored by, is your face. It's almost like I keep hearing, take a picture, it'll last longer. So somebody's already had to say something about it. How do others view pile number 1 based on their looks, Source? How do others view pile number 1? Yeah. So it's interesting because the Queen of Wands is usually someone who's capable of setting boundaries and who's capable of standing strong and who's very sexy, right? Someone who's very sexy and very attractive and very alluring. But here you have this image of this dragon defeating this little soldier here. And that's what it's like. It's almost like they're seeing you as someone not to mess with. So you might not get a lot of compliments on your looks because they feel like you'd eat them alive, right? And I don't take these cards in reversals right now. It's just not something I do on this deck, so it might change later, but that's something that's coming through here. It's like that they'd eat you alive. But look, it's interesting that this is so symbolic that it's coming from in between her legs, right? So it's like they want to have sex with you, or they want to have intimate relationship with you, but they don't want to build something that's more foundational with you. They would rather judge you based on your looks, and what they're judging you based on your looks is how they feel internally about themselves, like why they wouldn't want to build something more solid with you. Yeah, look, there's a sense of jealousy coming through here. And don't worry, pile 1, this is also reminding me too that you will overcome that harshness and that negativity that's surrounding you right now. That's why it's forcing you to go into your masculine energy, because it's time for you to take action towards yourself and towards your own life, right? It's not just about sitting around and hoping to receive things right now. Like right now, it's really time for you to take action. And so a lot of people aren't going to see your feminine aspects when you're doing the masculine energy, which is building, working, not having time off, not resting, like constantly going, right? Yeah, Six of Cups. Look at this picture. It's like the damsel in distress, right? Up in the tower. It's like they feel like because you look so beautiful or because you look so handsome that everybody gives you what you want, that you don't have to work for it. It's like, and you know that too. There's something about knowing that, right? Like, and I feel like sometimes you struggle with your looks. I feel like you have kind of like either the ugly duckling syndrome, or you just in general have never felt like you were beautiful enough or handsome enough to, you know, contend with others. But you never actually saw yourself for who you are, right? Like it's like someone else is holding the mirror here for her, right? It's like while she's reaching towards it, she's not actually holding it because this little creature is holding it for her. And it's hard to see your own beauty when you're judging yourself based on something that you see your whole life. So you may have seen people lurk, okay? You may have seen people look a certain way, and because you don't look that way, you feel like you're the oddball out. But it's actually because you don't look like them that you're so striking. And with the Six of Cups here, we have this energy of wanting to be in a relationship with you. But because it's over the Eight of Coins in the reverse, not wanting to work to build anything, not wanting to go away from this idea of a sexual contact rather than having a full-on relationship. So a lot of people do imagine what it would be like to be with you. Yeah. Because they feel like if they were with you that they would gain something from you. Like, look, you have twins here, right? Identical twins on this Two of Cups card. They feel like they would gain some access to the life that you have, right? So we have 2 over 2. It's like they're not seeing the duality in your life. They're only basing it on the duality within their own life. Then we have the Six of Wands coming out. Yeah, and feeling like that would bring some sense of success into their lives, some sense of alliance. Because the Six of Wands in my deck talks about having an alliance and being able to build based on that alliance. But then you also have it in the reverse talking about greed, right? And even it came out in the reverse, right? But I said I don't take reversals in this deck. So with it coming out reverse, it's telling me it wants to talk about that too. It's like they want for greedy, selfish reasons to take something from you. Feeling like, oh, if I was connected to pile 1, whenever they get their status or their raise or their promotion or their gang of friends grows or whatever, if I'm connected to them, then that also applies to me. What an interesting thing here. Yeah. Ace of Coins, feeling like they'll gain some sense of abundance from you because based on your looks, they feel like everything comes easy to you. Yeah, we have the Emperor again coming out. That you work for nothing, like you can just stay going in one spot. Everything comes to you. That you don't have to deal with the hardships or ever deal with reality because everything is easy based on your looks, which is such an odd perception that people have. Because oftentimes your looks will make you have to work harder for things. Not always, but a lot of times it does, you know? Alright, let's get some oracles out on it. Excuse me. How do people view pile number 1 based on their looks? Can we please have some oracle card source? How do people view pile number 1 based on their looks? Thank you. How do people view pile number 1 based on their looks? Yeah, unusual. Look. And Neptune energy coming out here too. Transcend with dream and transcend. Originality, philanthropy, and progressive imagining. So it's like people see you as very unusual, like a dream. Like you're a dream come true. You're someone that they want to be around. Responsibility, meerkat. Yeah, look. They're only seeing it in one way, right? They're seeing it as though life is just peachy keen for you, but how it really is that you've had to put in a lot of work in order to see things from a different place. You've had to build yourself up, but it's like they're seeing this all right here as, oh, it's easy. Like God obviously favors pile one. Source obviously favors pile one. The gods and goddesses favor pile one. They don't have to work hard for anything. They're just easy come, easy go. Like it's just, they don't think that you have to worry about anything. And really with Meerkat coming out, it's showing that you've had to turn your back on people like this and really work hard for what it is that you want in your life. Perspective. Milky Way, yeah, this is all their perspective. And again, don't take this personal, right? It's just it's always a curiosity. These are fun readings to do. It's never something to really take to heart, like, oh my gosh, should I be offended by that? No, because it's just funny how people think, right? It really is. It really is, but they don't have the correct perspective because they don't ever get to know you on a deeper level. Like you might find that most of your relationships are very surface level. They're very superficial, right? They're saying that you're the superficial one, but at the end of the day, you're not superficial. It's them projecting onto you how they truly are and how they connect with you in a very superficial way because they don't know how to open up conversation to a deeper connection. Excuse me, I apologize. Wow, I'm not tired. I don't know what's coming in. Yawns of clarification. A sextile. A combination of tension and flow. Potential in a rewarding situation. So see, this is what's really going on. You've had a lot of tension and a lot of flow. Like, not everything's always been hard, but there has been some real difficulties that have come up, and that's helped you find your true potential, which is rewarding you. The more you come into alignment with yourself, the more rewarded you become in life. That's how it works, right? So it's like, they're not seeing that, but this is Source coming through with a message saying that that's exactly what you're going through. So there's some reward that's probably going to be coming to you soon. It's just a little surprise message here for you with sextile arriving in your reading. Let's get some descriptors out on it real quick. Now, I'm not going to do a whole bunch, and these aren't going to resonate with everyone. They're just really fun to have, and sometimes it's a clarification that this is your message too. But again, don't take it so... Don't be so serious, okay? Just don't be so serious. Life is too short for that, okay? Alright, so let's see here. We have sharp cheekbones. You may have sharp cheekbones. Again, a very defined face is what keeps coming through here. Friendly. Yeah, you may be a very kind person. Gross. Okay, so that's the thing. I feel like this is just clarifying what I was saying earlier. Like, you don't go out into public when you feel gross. Like, you don't just show up in your pajamas and stuff. Like, you always do something to make yourself feel good. So when you go out, you're like, okay, at least I'm presentable. Like, even if you're in sweatpants, like, in a messy bun or something like that, like, you're still going to do something that makes you feel good. Like, put on a new t-shirt or something like that. You're not just going to show up rolling out of bed. Abrasive. Yeah, so you may have had to learn how to become abrasive in life, or you may just have a very abrasive personality, but it has to do with sticking up for yourself. And what I was saying, like, you left connections, and so people pegged you as abrasive based on your looks because they feel like it's your looks that keeps you from having a deeper connection, whereas in a way that is the truth, but it's not on your side. Rough. Yeah, and that comes back to that energy, that rough. It's like you're just rough edges, right? Like, no one wants to get close to you, so they don't want to get past that hard exterior. And so Man, yeah. I was saying that earlier, masculine energy. So you could very well be a man. You could be rough and rugged, very handsome, clever. Yeah. You're a very clever person. Okay, let's check this out. So when I'm looking at this, like I'm seeing this blue here, it's like you walk a lot and you speak your truth. So that's like the thing that's standing out the most to me here is the blue on her skirt, on her top and everything. But it's like you speak your truth, and then you have the bird here, which birds are communication. So it has something to do with the way you communicate with others. You may be very blunt and succinct, and because you don't just keep explaining things like once you say what you say, that's it. Like I'm not going to keep on with it. Like I'm just going to be really succinct about it because there's no reason for me to continue wasting my time. And so a lot of people take that as that abrasive energy because, oh, it's like if I didn't understand it the first time, you may appear as though you get irritated to have to explain yourself deeper, which you may get irritated, but you may not. And you just may appear to be irritated because, again, they're projecting their own inner insecurities onto you. But you're also seen as someone who keeps very tight control on your emotions, and you don't show that to everybody or anybody, really. Like, I don't think anybody that's in this reading is actually very close to you at all, right? But you're seen as someone who's going to go very far in life and seen as someone who's going to be like the talk of the town, really. The joyful. I know that the purpose of life is to be happy and live purposefully. So this comes back to that thing. It's like there's something about your face that I was coming to, right? And it could be your smile. You have a very, very beautiful smile. I was saying like the lips. There's something about the lips, like the curvature of the lips and everything that's coming through here. And so with the joyful coming out, we have 6, which is all about balance. And it's like, I feel like you bring a lot of joy wherever you go. And it's because you already know your purpose and you're living your purpose. We talked about taking that masculine energy and doing what you needed to do to take the next step. And it's like you're already on that. And it's like I don't have to be jumping for joy all the time for people to know how I'm feeling. Like, because there's moments of action and then there's moments when I get to rest. And they're going to look different, right? But this is how people judge you or see you, view you based on your looks. They really think that you have it easy. They really think that you have it easy, which I don't feel like you do. I feel like you may have to work extra hard for the things that you want in life. So this is what I see for you, pile 1. If it resonated, please hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a moment to thank your guides, your messengers, your spirit angels, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful rhodochrosonite, or if you picked this image here, then this is going to be a reading on how do others view you based on your looks. Keeping in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. I ask that you guys hang tight with me. This is my first reading back since everything has happened. If you're wondering what that is, that will be in the community tab for you. So I'm still recovering, trying to get back into a routine. It's not been easy. So I ask for your patience with me. I am definitely having very human moments right now. If you are interested in supporting the channel, that will all be linked down below in the description box. If you would like a personal reading, send me an email. I am behind on things right now. So give me a moment to get you out some information, and I will let you know what scheduling looks like, as I only have a finite amount of spaces available. And make sure you do follow me on over to Scatter Love Radio, which is my podcast, and that will all be linked down below in the description box. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. We'll ask the dice first, and then we'll get your tarot cards out on it and find out more about how do people view you, pile 2, based on your looks. So source, how do people view pile 2 based on their looks? How do people view pile number 2 based on their look, source? So we have Scorpio, second house, and Neptune. So I was gonna like say, and I didn't, but I am gonna say it now because it's coming out. There's something about the way that you stand, your stance in life. It's the way that you approach people. Like, you approach them in a very abrasive, aggressive manner, but it's not that you're aggressive. It's just that it's the way that you present yourself. Like, you're just very strong and confident in who you are. And so, but they see you as someone who's very sexy. With the Scorpio energy here, there's something that somebody that, or people that would really like to have sex with you, right? Like, they see you as mysterious. They see you as someone who's secretive, who they could easily possess, or they would want to possess, because you may be very strong-winded or strong-willed, and they want to possess you. And they see you as someone who's very sturdy and stable and financially sound, and that's something that they would like. But they also do see this air of illusion about you. Like, this feels like someone who doesn't necessarily romanticize, but they view you as someone that they could leave the day-to-day life with and go and live in a fantasy world with, right? Like, they wouldn't have to do what you normally do every day in order to survive, and feel like they could up and pack with you, and that you would take care of them, that you would make them feel better about themselves. Like, you're the stability of life here for them. This is definitely something that is not who you are. It's just how they view you based on how you look. Like, it's like they feel like very safe with you is the energy that's coming through. Secure. So this could be somebody that you're in a relationship with, but this could also be people around you that are very attracted to you. You know, tall, dark, and handsome is something that's coming through here. Tall, dark, and beautiful. It's like there's this energy coming through that's like, oh, with pile 2, haha, we have the second house. With pile 2, like, I would be able to just live a life of luxury. So they may see you as someone who's extremely well off. I heard well endowed as well. in any way, right? It doesn't just have to be, you know, man parts. It could be women parts too. So, you know, you could have a big badonkadonk or some nice chi-chis or something like that, you know. So it's like, but they really feel like there's this energy around you. Like, that's what I was saying, like the way you carry yourself. If you have a lot of confidence about the way your body looks, like you carry an air of arrogance about you, but it's not arrogance, it's just confidence, but it's seen as arrogance because not everybody knows how to live in that confidence. And so because it's foreign to them, they see it as something that it's really truly not, right? And so 444 may mean something to you as well. Let's see. Yeah, just someone that they could really just let go of life and live a fantasy life with. Like, what do I mean by that is like that you'd buy them a yacht or something. Like, they just see you as someone who's really rich and really well off, and you may not be. You just appear that way based on your looks. Like, you may dress in suits, you know, a tie and a suit, or you may dress in very high class clothes, or you may always have very nice shoes on. Like, you may buy one brand of shoes and that's all you buy. You know, like Michael Kors or Gucci or Prada, or if you don't spend like money like that, like it's just, you know, I don't know, what's another one, Steve Madden or something like that. Like, you just wear very nice shoes, you, whatever the shoes is here. And, you know, maybe you buy Jordans all the time, or you just always, everything matches. You're very accessorized. And so it's like you look like you could be someone that would be able to take care of them based on the way you look. So, source, how do people view pile 2 based on how they look? How do people view pile 2 based on how they look? How do people view pile 2 based on how they look, source? Someone they could get lost with. How do people view pile number 2 based on their look, source? Okay, thank you. How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Thank you. I just want to point out, don't worry about the negative energies that might come through. This is how they view you. This is their opinion, not the truth. As bigger than life. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're bigger than life. And you've outgrown the small things. And so you're like on this beautiful path that they want to be on. A lot of Leo energy. Yeah, Leo and Sag. Okay. Yeah, they see you as someone who... So anytime we get the Strength card in reverse, it does talk about repression of old beliefs, right? But I don't feel like this is you. I feel like they're repressing their own inner capabilities. So what I was saying, like that arrogance coming through, it's like not that you're arrogant, but it's just that they would be arrogant if they were in your position, and so they project that onto you. That's why I feel like Strength is here in reverse. It's just a reminder here showing that these are people, how they view you. These are them dealing with their own demons. And so it's like you may bring out in them a feeling of disconcertedness. Is that the right word? They definitely do not feel confident when they're with you, right? You like overcome everything that you deal with. Like even when you're going through hardships, you still find a way to pull yourself up from the bottom of the barrel and make a pass at life again. You're very action oriented. There's a lot of fire energy here. And then you have the 2 of Swords on the bottom here. And it's talking about being on this path to a positive outcome. But anytime I see this, I always think about a Pisces fish that's too... Well, I guess it'd be a koi fish. A koi fish that's too big for its pond, right? Like, and so you have to jump out of the pond. Like, you don't deal with the small fries anymore, right? And so when we have the King of Swords here looking at this 2 of Swords... I'm sorry, the King of Wands here looking at this 2 of Swords... It's like you know that and you're confident that you're going big places, and that scares a lot of people around you, but it's because of the way you look. It's like the way you present yourself. This is more than just your physical looks, and I know that's what this reading was about, but there's something more to you than your physical looks. It's literally the air about you. Like you have an air of confidence that's so deeply rooted in who you are, it scares the living bejesus out of people. Okay, like they just can't. They're like, whoa. And so they're trying to project their own hurts and fears onto you and make it seem like you're some arrogant jerk. But you're not. You've moved on from living in a life of pain and suffering because of not being able to believe in yourself. It's like if you don't believe in you, who's going to believe in you? And so because of that, you have this rich mentality. And having a rich mentality will eventually manifest in life because you know the actions that you're going to take to get there. And so as you're manifesting this into life, it's like that. Like people really believe that because of that, like you're going to be the one that takes care of them. And I don't feel like any of these people have a leg in your life like that. Like I don't think that at all. But then you also have this wand. Like look, it has this sharp point on it stabbing him in the heel. There's this other energy coming through. It's like people feel like this is covering up your deepest weakness. You know, like, oh, their pile 2 is only so confident because they're trying to hide their weaknesses, which is their Achilles heel. Like, if we only found out about their weakness, we could totally deter them from their path. But that's not the case at all. You let go of whatever was keeping you stuck. So it's like you're not arrogant on the journey. You're just truly founded in a sense of self-belief and confidence. And creativity. You get a lot of creative insight. And you get a lot of understanding from self. Like you're very kind to yourself. The train. You found your own inner freedom. And that's what scares others, and that's why they're trying to project this onto you. And also it's like if you don't have money just yet in your life. Like, it's about to come. Like, I feel like that's a little message here that's coming through from source. There's like some sort of money that's coming. There's some sort of stability that's coming like that. It's like people feel like they're going to be able to come in and tear you down because they're going to be like, oh, you owe me like that. When really, in reality, no. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Don't be crazy. But it's like that, like if you were a movie star, right? And this is just an example. It's like if you were a movie star, you know how like people daydream about being with a movie star because, oh, then it would just, life would be easy. Everything would be paid for. Like I wouldn't have to worry about anything. I could do whatever I want. Like that's what it is. It's like they treat you like a movie star. But you know how to take initiative for your life. Like you know how to do what's necessary for yourself. And not very many people are like that. You know, it takes a very strong-willed person to be disciplined in a world where there lacks discipline. Let's get some clarifiers out on it. Source, can you clarify this for pile number 2? How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Yeah, they're like over here sneaking and creeping and peeking. Like, hey, pile 2, look at your prosperity up there with your little fish. I'm going to pop your balloon. But they know they can't touch you. They know they can't touch you, right? This is because you have overcome everything that's been sent to break you down. You've overcome it some way, shape, or form. It didn't mean you didn't experience the hurt. It didn't mean that you didn't experience the loss, the tears, the fears, the suffering of being human. What it means is that you took that and you let that become the fuel for you to move forward, right? You found your own inner luck. It's like, I don't believe in luck. I make my own luck. Like, that's what I feel here is coming through. It's like, where most people are afraid of their own shadow, you're not. Like, you're like, hey, my shadow's my best friend. Like, why would I be afraid of my best friend? You know, like, that's why you're so confident in yourself, because you know you're not alone. Yeah. And it's like a lot of people are afraid of that. Right? This just paints a picture of fear. Look at this. These 2 little girls hiding from this rabbit. You're different. You're different than everyone else, and everyone else is scared of that. Right? And the 9 of Swords in my deck really does talk about being able to notice when things aren't serving you, but having a good outcome, like your sound of mind, you're able to get through things, you're able to really understand and think your way out of it. So you see how we went from having all this fire energy here. You have Leo, and Sag, right? This is all fire energy, to having Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra is up here, right? You have all this air energy that's coming out. It's like you're leaving people stuck in their mind. You're leaving people stuck in their own internal thoughts. Like, they cannot stand up against you because you're like, I'm different, but it's cool. Like, I'm cool that I'm different. I don't care that I'm different. So I'm saying, like, it has nothing to do with how you actually look. This is more about how you present yourself to the world than anything. Like, to be honest with you, and don't take this personally, you could be the ugliest person on earth, but you're not seen that way because of the way you feel about yourself. That's what I'm saying. Like, and again, beauty and whatnot is all subjective. So what someone might feel is absolutely gorgeous, another person might feel is absolutely hideous. So that's never a good indication of what's beautiful and what's not, right? But what I'm saying is this, is like, you may just be like somebody who always fought with people, like always said, oh, you're never going to get anywhere, and this, that, and the other because of the way you look. And finally you're like, well, if they don't believe in me, and if I don't believe in me, it's just going to be a world of hurt for me all the way around. So I'm going to believe in myself, and just because I don't look like everyone else, I don't care. I don't care. And so you found some sense of stability in who you are, and you've overcome a lot of those hurts and pains. Yeah, we have the 4 Wands here. You've overcome a stalemate. Now you're like running through the woods, like happy being with yourself. You're not worried about it. You're like, whatever. Let's see. Can we please get one more card here? Oh, this is new for me. Being so down and out and then doing a reading. It's not that I'm coming to you guys at my best. I just have to get back into routine, and it's a very unique feeling for me. I don't think I've ever experienced this before. So we have the Page of Cups here. What is it with the fish here? Yeah, they see you as someone who's, well, fish symbol prosperity, right? Like a lot of things do, but fish really symbol prosperity and abundance. Think of when Jesus fed the the many with, what was it, 2 fish and 3 loaves of bread, or don't quote me on that, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like you're able to have plentiful. It's like teach a man, what is it? Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. Like, that's the thing. It's like you've taught yourself how to fish in the waters of life. And you're not afraid of that. Like, you're not afraid to go ankle deep, knee deep, head deep. Like, it doesn't matter. You're willing to go into what it is that needs to be done for you. And you found your reason and you found your why. And because of that, it's like people do see you as someone who's shallow in love. You don't give very much love. It's very not immature. It's just not a deep kind of love. And in truth, it's not that you don't have so much to offer. What it is that you protect yourself very carefully, because people have a tendency to take advantage of you. And I feel like that's why it's like people believe they're entitled to what you have, which is, again, in any one way, shape, or form, that is just absolutely insane that people think that way, but they do. I couldn't tell you why people think that way. Especially when they're just sitting on their butts and not doing anything. And it's like you go out and you work hard for what it is that you have, and they think that, oh, they were just given that. They were just given that freely. And it's like, no, like you had to deal with your own emotional insecurities. And that's why you're not really too bothered by these people who are projecting onto you. So we have the 4 of coins on the bottom. Yeah, you've gone out and built your own stability in life. Like, it's like you have all these people on the bottom wishing that they could live in a castle that's built on stone. But their castle isn't even built yet. It's just an imaginary thing, right? It's all in their minds. Hoping they'll roll the dice and get lucky. Because his head is a dice here. They're hoping to roll the dice and get lucky. And you're up here in your own kingdom knowing that it was difficult, it was hard, but it was worth every step of the way. Like, it's like you never gave up on it. And so people really think that you were given things easy based on your looks. Based on your aura. It's based on your aura. It's like based on the way you approach people. That's what it is. It's like people just think that, oh, everybody in life is just going to like bend to pile 2 because, you know, they're scary or they're different. And that's why it's like, it doesn't have anything to do with that. Does not have anything to do with that at all. Alright. Whoa, that went flying. Flying. Yeah, look, connections. These are the type of connections I feel like you're surrounded by. These connections that are trying to keep you down and out. Like, they just want you to feel like a failure. And it's like you've learned how to stand on your own 2 feet. You've learned how to stand by yourself. That's what's so scary. That's what's so scary. Being able to stand by yourself. Like, what was I saying? Like, you're a hard worker. Ambition, realism, and methodical steps. You take slow, steady steps to attain your goal. Look, fire and passion with this card here. Look at that. Lots of fire. Yeah, you found your life's purpose, or you're living your life's purpose, or whatever it is that you're involved in. You're very passionate about. You still show up for it. Even when things are rough, you still show up for it. Like, you still put in the effort. Like, you're not afraid to do the work. And that's what, it's like they're not seeing that, right? They're not seeing that. And so people judge you based on the way that you look, thinking that you're just scary or intimidating to people. No, it's because they're feeling intimidated by you. So they're projecting that in a way that's like, oh, pile 2 just got where they went because they're scary or intimidating. Boom, we have fear coming out here. Hyena, exactly what I was saying. Like, they feel like you've been intimidating to people, which is why they've given you abundance. But this is showing that you had to deal with your own internal fear in order to bring abundance into your life. What do we have? House 10, structure, discipline, life, mission, accomplishments, and career. Yeah, you work hard for what you have. Like, that's what I've been saying. It's like you didn't just think that this was going to appear out of nowhere like these people do. It's like, oh, if I sit down and I think about it hard enough, then it'll just happen. It's like, yeah, whereas thoughts are things, cool, but thoughts can never become manifest if we don't actually take action towards them. What good does it do just to think about it all the time, right? And you thought about what you wanted to do, and then you just started taking slow steps. You know, house 10 is the house of Capricorn. We had Capricorn on the bottom over here, right? It's like slow steps. And that's the father figure of the zodiac, or yeah, of the zodiac. And so it's like you've learned how to father yourself and take those actions and detail-oriented steps to get you to where it is that you're going. Let's get some description messages out on it. These aren't going to resonate with everyone, but they're always fun to get. We won't get a whole bunch here. We'll just get a few. Okay. Guess those are all stuck together. Okay. What do we got here? Freckles. So somebody has freckles. Witty. Yeah, you're a very witty person. That does not surprise me at all. At all. Police officer. Okay. So someone could be a police officer here. Maybe that's what the stability or like that security was coming through. That makes sense. Like a police officer would make someone feel safe. I know some people are like, no, we don't deal with police officers, and you know, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, like, if someone in around you is like, oh, they're a police officer, two things. You look really good in your uniform, and that stance, right? Like, that air of arrogance would come through here, but it's not arrogance. It's just being comfortable in the fact that this is the position that I chose. This was the career that I chose, my life mission. It's something that called to me. Okay, and if it's not police officer, it's something along those lines. Glass blower. Yeah, and that would give you, oh, I love this. That would give you that air of what I was calling that air of confidence, okay? Because you're working with fire. Being a glass blower is an extremely dangerous job. And then we had the fire with passion coming out here. What a fun connection. Look, and then with this fiery energy here, this makes me feel like Aries energy coming through here. Right? Like, so we had Leo Sag. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody's a fire sign here. Look, we have sunburned. So somebody could have just recently gotten sunburned because of the summertime being here where I'm at, you know, in the United States. But anyways, yeah, sunburned. Or again, that flame energy, that being too hot to handle, right? Handsome. Yeah, there's still, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, but this has so much more to do than just the way you look. It's the energy that you possess. Like, you could be someone that most people would not swipe right on or swipe left, whatever way it is, right? But when they met you in person, they would be so enamored by you because of how you present yourself. Okay, and you don't have to be a man here. You could be a woman. It doesn't matter. You could be a plumber. I love this. We've got some, like, job descriptors coming out here. Hey, life callings are different for everyone. Don't make fun of people just because their life calling isn't what you would want, right? Quirky. Yeah, I do feel like when people get to know you, you're a very quirky individual. I don't feel like you're so serious all the time. I feel like you've just learned how to cut yourself off from the real world because you've had to learn how to protect yourself. Because people just don't understand you. Like, it's clear with this reading, they don't understand you. Look at this again. This gives me that energy. Look, he's like shooting fire out of his hand here. He's got his sword, even though it's got the sheath on it and everything like that. It's like the whole world is burning down. But still, this dude right here, you see him, he's still embracing the fire and taking it to great lengths, right? This gives me also like autumn energy here. So you could have an autumn birthday, right? But it's just this energy of being able to let go of what's not giving you active motion towards your dreams. You're building something. It may be off in the distance, but you're building something and you have a one-track mind and you're going towards that. And so you're shining bright here. You are shining bright. But you're taking, the thing that keeps coming through here with this is taking action. You're taking action, and that's what people, when they see you and they look at you based on your looks, how do they view you as someone who takes action? Whether that's good action, bad action, it doesn't matter. But this does feel like just someone who's very action-oriented. So look, we have number 13, the initiator. I overcome resistance and do what must be done now. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Being someone who's very ambitious, realistic, takes methodical steps. We have the number 4 out of 13, and that's all about stability, strength, structure, stability. Foundations. Right? So there's a sense of foundational energy with you. We have that security. That's also another thing that makes people feel secure, someone who has strong foundations. So you're seen as someone who has strong foundations. More importantly than anything, it's like you're seen as someone who, whatever it is that you do, you're going to go far in it. And you're going to become the top of the top. Like, there's no doubt in people's minds when they see you. But everybody feels like that they deserve a part of that, which is strange that that's coming through as well. So don't take that too much to heart. It's just showing that you're doing the right thing. Oftentimes when you're doing the right thing, you can elicit a lot of different responses from people. So this is what I have for you, Pile 2. If it resonated, hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure you are subscribed. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this beautiful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to this beautiful tiger's eye, or if you were drawn to this image here, then this is going to be your reading, Pile 3, on how do people view you based on your looks. Keeping in mind these are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect directly with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further or checking out my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, you'll find all those links down below in the description box. If you would like a personal reading, please shoot me an email. You'll find that link down below in the description box. But know that I only have a finite amount of openings available each week. And I ask that you send me an email so that way I can let you know how many openings are available, as well as further information from there. Currently, I am a little bit behind because of what had happened last week. If you're wondering what that is, that will be found in the community tab for you. I did have a channeled message for you, Pile 3, before I started, which is so strange, but there's something about a cursed love coming through. So we may have a hijacked reading. I'm just letting you know first and foremost. If that's not something you're into or you're upset about that, that's cool. There's 2 other piles to choose from. I cannot say that for sure. We will see what the messages are here, but it was just something that came out so strong. My ears like going crazy right now, like ringing and itching. And so yeah, it's like they want me to tell you that it was something that came through, something about a cursed love, and it was very, very clear. I'm not sure what it is past that, but we'll find out. Let's go ahead and ask the dice, though, the original question that we had set for today. So, source, for pile number 3, how do people view pile number 3 based on their look, source? How do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? So we have 3rd house, we have South Node, I think that's actually North Node, and then we have Capricorn energy. Let me just double check. That's North Node. Yeah, okay, we've got North Node. Okay. It's already a weird message coming through here, but we're just going to go with it. I have to go with the energy. I can't just make things fit that aren't fitting, so that's not how I read things. So when we're talking about 3rd house, we're talking about like where we grew up, right? Like our young childhood and early education. And siblings and twins, and so maybe this is talking about a twin flame. Again, we will get deeper into that, okay? We are talking about masculine, though. This is interesting. We are talking about a masculine energy here. With the North Node here, I'm following your true north, right? Capricorn is the father of the zodiac, and really like that strong, methodical, taking steps forward, masculine type energy that we all take when we're trying to manifest what we want, until we get ready to embody the feminine energy where we sit back and receive that which is rightfully ours. Okay, so so I'm going to go with how I'm feeling. I feel like this is talking about twins here. Okay. We are talking about certain activities that are coming through, like the mind, the thinking mind. So there's something in your mind that you've been thinking about taking action on, okay? Now, not everybody's on a twin flame journey, so that might not resonate with you, but you could be a twin, like an actual twin. You could have twins in your family, or you could have someone that's coming in that's very much thinking a lot like you, right? So kind of having that twin vibe, like twinning it out. But, or like a mini-me, or you could be the mini-me type energy, right? We are talking about the thinking mind. So let me go back to what I was originally saying here. There's something about a masculine energy that's soon approaching you, and is going to connect with your mind. They're going to connect with you deeply on a, this feels like a spiritual connection, is what it feels like to me. This feels like someone who's willing to take that extra step to get to know you. And this is because you're following your true north. Like, even if you've had some upsets, even if you don't know, like, what do I hear that song by Miley Cyrus, The Climb? I don't know it well enough to sing it for y'all. Y'all know I love singing, but I don't know it well enough. But it's like every move I'm making, every step I'm taking, what is it? I don't know if I'm on the right path or something like that. Like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Like, I feel like that's how you've been. It's like you don't know if what you're doing is even getting you to where you're meant to go. And this is a message saying that you are in your true north. How do people view you based on that? They see you as a light, a shining light, because you're glowing up right now. And so you're actually impacting others in a very profound way. And so it's not necessarily how you physically look. This is the light that's shining through. Okay, it's not even the aura. This is the light that you're holding within. It does not matter how you look. It's something that people feel as soon as you show up. They're like, whoa, this person is oddly authentic, and because they're oddly authentic, they allow me to be authentic too. When we talk about Capricorn is connected with the 10th house, and 10th house is all about our life mission, right? Following in our life mission, having that ambitious goal set for us and taking those steps towards that. So this is very interesting because it's like giving me this energy of you're coming in and you're manifesting a masculine in your life. This could be a love relationship, but might not. Cursed love. So I feel like this is why that came through, is that you feel like you're cursed in the area of love, and you didn't come here looking for a love reading, which is why Source hijacked the reading, because you're so tired of people telling you, if you catch a love reading, like, oh, you're manifesting love, you're manifesting love. Like, this might not be a romantic love, but you may really truly believe in your heart of hearts that you have cursed, you're like cursed in the area of love. Like, it's not going to ever come true. But you're following the destiny, the path that you're meant to follow. Like I said, it was very strong when it came through, but let's get a little bit more. Honestly, I'm just going to let Source bring out the cards, because I feel like if I ask the question, Source is going to say whatever Source is going to say, because, you know, Sources will be done. Like, that's it. It's not how I want it done, y'all. It's how Source wants it done. I'm just a channel. That's what I am. So, Source, what do you want to say in regards to Pile 3's reading? I love that you guys got the 3rd house in your Pile 3. What else would you like to say on Pile 3's reading, Source? Yeah, there's like some sense of clumsiness coming through, too. Feeling like maybe when you like someone, you feel very awkward and clumsy. Or this person is going to seem very awkward and clumsy. But right now, there's definitely a message coming through that you are following your North Node. You're doing what you're meant to do. You let go of karmic lessons. You let go of things that were meant to happen. This is a very odd message. Okay, I'm just going to show you. I was looking at this card. I could not stop looking at this card. But I don't know if you can see this right there. It looks like the face of a dog to me. And if you guys know what's going on with me, that's fine. You could say, oh, it's because what's going on with you. But no, this truly does. This looks like the ear right here, and it looks like the dog is looking at her, and this looks like the other ear right here. And so it looks like a floppy-eared dog. It does not even look close to what my dog looks like, but it looks like a floppy-eared dog here. And so you could have recently received a dog, or you had something happen with your dog, or something about a dog. Maybe you're born in the year of the dog, Or like companion is also coming through when I think of dog. Like I think of companionship here. And so it's interesting though, because I was just looking at it while I was shuffling and I couldn't take my eyes off of this spot right here. And so it feels like that's what they're saying here, is that there's a companion that's coming, like someone that's going to understand you, someone that's going to get you. Okay, they want me to shuffle one more time. Someone that's going to help you let go of the negative people surrounding you. Okay, Source, what would you like to say in Pile 3's reading? Because I feel like you got something to say. Because the energy is a lot different than what I got from Pile 1 and Pile 2. And I don't know if it's because now I'm in a groove or not. I really don't. Like, this just feels so different. Like, the pull is a lot different on this reading. What else would you like to say for Pile number 3, Source? Okay, look, the Love card's coming out. And it wants to be in the upright. Did you see how it... if you saw it fall, you saw it fall sideways, but then it kind of went whoosh, like that. So I'm going to take it in the upright. This is my soulmate love card, okay? This is the card of real love. This is the card of deep connections, true love, very, very strong. Like, what you give is what you get. There's nothing else. Yeah, you can say that's the Ace of Cups. You could say that that's the Two of Cups. The Ace of Cups is all about self-love in my deck. But the Two of Cups is all about... It can be romantic love, but it's also more in line with platonic friendship love. But when we get to the Six of Cups, this is a very deep, deep connection here. Okay? I'm talking about it's a very intimate connection. It's very sexual. It's very heartfelt. It's very intuitive. It's, you know, you have Scorpio energy here, which makes it very dark, but it also shows that it is divinely guided as well. Okay? So then we have this one with the Eight of Wands. That is very interesting. Again, this very deep feeling of feeling like this is anxiety, upset, heartbreak, hurt, right? Feeling hurt and heartbreak over a love situation or over love in general. With the Eight of Wands wanting to be on top of or over the Six of Cups, we're talking about having anxiety over love, like very literal is what's coming through for me here. But finding balance as well. There's a sense of learning how to balance this out and realizing that it's not about feeling so disconnected from this love as much as it was about finding it within yourself, right? And maybe there's something that happened with a furry friend that really made you understand the depths of that, like how that mattered to you or what that meant to you. Right? Because it's so strange how animals, and they don't have to be animals that you own, right? It could be someone else's dog. It could be someone else's pet. Or it could even be a wild animal. But have you ever been around, like, it's so crazy. The day that everything happened last week for me, I was coming back. I had to leave the house to take care of some stuff. And when I was coming back, a hummingbird came up and was like flying right in front of me, just like chilling right in front of me. And it's like, I've been around hummingbirds, but never have I had one just fly right in front of my face and just hang out right in front of my face. Like, hey, what's up? Dragonflies do that to me all the time, but it was a hummingbird. It was so profound. And for me, hummingbirds are messages from Source that you're healing. Like, that's what a hummingbird means to me. And so it was just so profound. And so I feel like the only reason I'm sharing this with you is that's what's happened here, is there's some sort of situation that has happened with a companion, a close companion, that's bringing a sense of healing to you. It's interesting. Look, I didn't even think about that. Look, this bird is looking at her right in her face. I wasn't even thinking about that. I kept looking at this. I wasn't even thinking about this. That is so trippy. Okay. One of these days, maybe I'll put the camera on myself so y'all can look at my face when I'm talking, because it's just, I'm just very expressive too. So, yeah, look, King of Coins energy, stability, coming outside of this superficial life, this superficial idea of what love is, this belief that it's all superficial, right? Like, no one has anything to offer. Letting go of getting caught up in things that don't matter, right? Finally building a sense of stability for yourself and clarity. And true clarity is coming for you. Yeah, I feel like, let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Yeah. Making it through the trenches is what I just heard. So loud. You changed some kind of destination for yourself. Not necessarily destination. That's not the right word. It's the direction. You've changed the direction of your destiny is what I'm trying to say here. That's the thing. It's like you've gone through it. You've gone through so much. You've been through a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and I feel there's a sense of isolation that's coming through here that is so it's like deafening. It is so heavy. It's suffocating. Okay? And it's like the sun is coming out for you finally. There's this sense of freedom that's coming through here. It's like you need a message of hope at this time, which is why you were even led to this in the first place and why you even chose pile 3. It's like Source said, it's cool. We'll let piles 1 and 2 be what it is. The question is, but pile 3 needs a message of hope. Because pile 3 has been through it. And if you did not catch the prayer at the beginning, it might do you well to go catch the prayer at the beginning of the video, because it's just like that. It's like I feel like you've been down and out. You've been hurt. You've been sad. You've been really dealing with a lot. And there's some sort of stability that's coming to you. Okay, this is, I feel, you manifesting some sense of stability. Whether this is finally being able to live a little outside of the budget you've been working so tediously on. This is you getting a raise. This is unexpected income. This is someone, gifting you something. Or if this is someone coming in that's going to help sponsor you to the next level. It could be any amount of things here. But this feels like you being able to now have a sense of stability in life. You're no longer relying on the individuals that you relied on in the past to get you to where you want to go. Now you see your coin is your coin. Right? He's holding his coin. But there was some sense of instability in the past that was causing this. And I feel like it had to do with the idea that, having to do it alone when it feels like everyone else has a partner in crime. And why do I have to do this alone? Why do I have to feel so disconnected from everyone else? And it's because you're being led down a path that's going to bring you the ultimate gift and blessing all at once. It's like Source is saying, I want you to go here, I want you to go there, I want you to do this, I want you to get caught up in this mess over here too, because that's all with purpose. It's all so that you can bring in the greatest blessing of all, and that's what you've asked for. And so it's like you're becoming a king of coins, and because of that, you're beginning to see through everybody's masks and covers. It's not that you didn't have the gift of discernment before, but it's like you're gonna find in recent days and in upcoming weeks, your discernment is going to be next level. Like, whereas maybe you got discernment and it was coming through and you kind of questioned it, now you're not even going to question anymore. You're like, no, look, like my discernment is telling me this, my intuition is telling me this. Like, I'm not afraid to listen to that anymore. And because you're not paying attention to this any longer, like I feel like you had your eye all on love for a long time. Like, when's love coming? When's love coming? When's love coming? And then something shifted along the way where you got some kind of communication from nature, from source, from your angels, from your guides. This could be anything, right? Usually I leave this card until the end, but it's already playing such a pivotal part in your reading. It's like you received something deeply profound to your journey that said, okay, like this is what I have to focus on now. And because of that, like for some time you've been focusing on this, maybe 5 months, 3 months, since the beginning of the year. Yeah. And it's taken your focus off of love because you're so focused on this other situation. And this other situation, like something changed. There's some sort of change that happened. So if you were working on building your business, maybe now your business is starting to grow, like that type of change. Or maybe you applied for a new position and now you're getting the interview when never before did you get the interview, and you know as soon as you step into the interview, you have a real shot at it, right? It's not to say yes or no to it. What I'm saying is like things have changed. Like it's no longer in the energy that you were in, because it's like maybe you had your head down and you were just working as hard as you could, working, and doing what was called and necessary of you, and letting go of things that no longer served you, and really like opening yourself up to a whole new idea and perspective of where you wanted to be at. But something has held your attention so firmly for a matter of months, okay? And again, that could be 2 months, but it could be 5 months. It could be a long time or a shorter amount of time. But because you were so intently focused on this other thing, it like unlocked space for you to open up to all these other things that are coming in. It was like, this holds my attention so that I can receive. It's kind of like the set it and forget it. That's really what manifestation is all about. You visualize it, you put it out to source, and then you have to let it go. But it feels like you did all those things except for truly surrendering it to source. There was not an ability to surrender it to source because it was still always at the back of your mind, still always playing on the back of your mind. And it was like as soon as the thought would come up, you'd be drugged back into daydreaming about it or thinking about it or worrying, having anxiety about it. And so it's like when you had to deal with whatever it was that you were dealing with, the last thought was like, oh, I must be cursed in love. At least let me just go focus on what I need to focus on right now, because that's what's calling my attention. And it was like because of that, it let you literally forget about it. And it wasn't that you have a cursed love. It just let you forget about holding on to it so tightly. And please get some clarifiers for this source for pile number 3. And please have some clarifying cards for pile number 3. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, something that was really causing a lot of anxiety. But see, now you're letting go. Like, you're letting go of the negativity that was surrounding that. Like, it's almost like okay, so I'm using love as an example, but know that it could be anything. This could be money, it could be friendship, it could be, work, it could be career opportunities, it could be anything, okay? But what this is showing me here, it's like the 5 of Swords in my deck talks about being able to overcome the hardships that come from discontent, that come from hurt, that come from suffering, right? And something that was really, you felt was bigger than you, you're no longer seeing it as bigger than you. You're no longer, it's like you're the one that's winning the battle now. Like you're about to chop off this dude's head. This carrot, I guess it's carrot, with this knife, right? Like it's like you just basically put it down and it's like, I'm done. But it's only reason that this happened, the only reason that this happened is because you had to focus on something else. But this is how you were beginning to feel about it. It's almost like being completely like, everybody promises me that I can manifest this, that I can manifest that. And it's like, but it's not happening. So I'm done with manifestation. Yeah, you wanted your cake to eat it too. And that's the thing. It's like Source was trying to let you, but it's like if you keep opening the oven door while the cake's baking, it's not going to get finished. Right? Like it's gonna get all weird. It's gonna get deformed. It's not gonna cook all the way. You might have parts that are undone, underdone or undercooked inside of it. And it's like King of Swords, just being honest with yourself. So there's some sort of truth here that you had to come to terms with while you were on this journey, this sidetrack here. Look, she's eating his eye. I never once noticed that before. It's like, what does she have on the spoon? Oh, that's his eye, the cake's eye. You had to see something. You had to learn from something. Look, and those are the same pearls that are on our barrettes, like on the crown, right? This is a message from Source. This was not fun. This was not fun. This cut deeply. Whatever it is that you've had to focus on the last few months, maybe it's taking care of a family member, helping a friend out. Maybe this is dealing with shady, or so I heard shisty. I really heard that shisty coworkers, okay? Like, I'm not trying to be like that, but that's what I heard. It was like you're dealing with people who just are really like controversial, or people who just want to argue, or people who want to cause mischief and trouble and chaos, and they're trying to be cunning about it, but it's like you're just dealing with these things. It's like and so it took all your energy to show up and focus on it, or you were trying to care and to give for somebody, to be there for somebody, or a situation, you were trying to pour your heart into it, and it's almost like you forgot to take care of yourself, or you forgot to put yourself first, and you forgot so much that you even forgot what it was that you were trying to manifest, because whatever the situation was, excuse me, I need a drink of water. Let me put it over here. Whatever the situation was, it just called for your immediate attention and your full attention. There was no anything else that matters. This is the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that I can do, because I don't have enough. Look at all these swords cards coming out here, proving that this is the truth, what Source is wanting to say. We have the Page of Swords here. It purified your soul. It purified your heart. This taught you something that was so incredibly valuable, and you may not even know what it is. But something feels like, for me, the power in surrender. Because whatever the outcome of this situation was, it was completely out of your control. There was nothing that you had a hand in controlling it. Like, there's nothing that you could have done to control this. But I do feel like there was a sense of, like, if I put my all into this, that I'll be able to control the outcome of what happens in my favor to how I want it. But there was no sense. That was all just an illusion. It was literally your emotional ego trying not to actually deal with the emotions that were coming up at this time. But because of that, when the situation turned or ended, or the next phase started, wherever it is, okay, there was no other place for your emotional ego to go but then to deal with reality, which is what the Page of Swords talks about, is facing reality. There's been an inability to do so for so long, but this image really depicts an ability to be lifted up by the grace of God, the grace of Source, the grace of our angels, our spirit guides, whatever it is that you believe in. You're being lifted up, and there's a huge transformation here. And anytime I personally see a white butterfly, that feels to me like it's transformation that is a gift from Source. Like, this was divine intervention here. Whatever happened over the last couple of months, this was something that was definitely a divine intervention. Even if it was difficult for you to deal with, this was something that was very necessary for you to go through. So if you feel like you made the wrong decision, just know that you didn't. Look, and then we have, like, she has two barrettes, and she has her hair kind of like in these two, I don't know if you call that a pigtail or not. But again, the idea of twins, right? The idea of the twin energy coming through here. What once felt as one is now doubled. I don't know. That's the message that came through. So, yeah, and the Page of Cups coming out. Like, learning to love from a very fresh place here. Learning to love again. Right? This is all going to be new. The Knight of Swords. Taking action towards that. It's like feeling like after the bitter, you're going to enjoy the sweet. Like, there's something that maybe you took a gamble on, or something that you felt like you could deal with, but it became soon really overwhelming for you. And then you finally let that go, and it's like, in letting it go, it allowed you space to run to yourself and to sit with yourself and to understand where you were at. Right? Yeah. And that's when justice comes for you, because you let go. You no longer tried to make mountains out of molehills or molehills out of mountains. You let everything be exactly as it was. Seeing through the eyes of a different way, like a different being, a different place, a different perspective. Which gave you strength, which is calling in some kind of love. This was self-love first. Right? Then you have the Moon here. It's like something that, this is a gift that's very secret right now. There's no saying it's going to come tomorrow or not. But this is something that, it might not be just love. This could be something else. This could be the money that you've been asking for, but it's definitely something you've been trying to manifest for, it feels like years. This That's the energy that's coming through. Like I said, the energy with your pile 3, is completely different. And sometimes I just have to let Source do what Source is going to do. Otherwise, I would not be a very good messenger, would I? Look, this sense of solitude coming through here. Being alone, this tree all desolate on this island. There's no one around, but the sun is finally coming through and shedding light on the situation of why you had to deal with this alone. I feel like part of it was to show you that you're strong enough to do whatever it is that you need to do in life. And I feel like a lot of times you struggle with that, like feeling like you need others to lean on and feeling like you don't have the strength to do it. But this is an ancestral curse with polar bear ancestors coming out on the bottom here. This is something that you're clearing and cleansing. If this is your pile, please leave a green heart and say, I claim my ancestral clearing, because that's what this is all about. Boom, Saturn, structure. This is struggle, experiencing struggle, learning hard work, patience, feeling restricted. Excuse me. Leo, self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. That's what it brought. After the darkness, after the hardships, and if you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you know we talk about Saturn as being the planet of tough love. Darn you, Saturn. Why do you gotta be so tough? But it teaches us very valuable lessons. Okay, look, news is coming. 23, Raven. Yeah, something is about to come through again. The birds, there's something very significant about birds for you too. Okay, you may receive messages from birds. She even has a wing here that's colorful. That's pink, which is heart chakra energy. It's also solar star, I think is what it is. There's another chakra above our crown chakra, but then you have the purple here, which is crown chakra energy as well as white light. But anyways, let's go back. There's something about birds that's very significant to you. Something that has to do with your emotions. Like you guys are getting some clarity soon. Maybe you're going to get some clarity with the full moon in Aquarius that's coming up. Vulnerability. Yeah, this really was hard. This made you feel exposed in a lot of ways. A lot of ways that you kept hidden from the world. Like, this feels like it was a repeat situation of something that you tucked away deep in the recess of your body and your mind and your soul and your emotion and your heart. And whatever happened over the last few months has been purging that out of your system. Jupiter, grow and expand. Yeah, this has been all about your spiritual growth. Like, I know what the question was today. I know that. But today for you, your message was different. I'm going to get some of these. I know we're not talking about another person, but I just feel like we should get some of the yin-yang cards. So, Source, can we please have some messages from this deck and see what comes out? Okay, they want me to shuffle a couple times. Yeah, I do feel like somebody's watching, waiting for the perfect moment to come forward to say something. You may be like, why don't they just come forward now? And they're not trying to be a creep about it. They're just like, yeah, look at what came through. Twin flames. Okay, I feel like, no, you know what? I'm going to put it back in because we're just going to see if it really wants to come out. It's going to come out. And I have faith. I have faith. If Source wants us to know it's going to be twin flame, it's going to come out. Look, I just split the deck again to shuffle. Look, and it was on the inside. I don't know how it came out because I made sure it wasn't the last card on the deck. That's a trip. Alright, Source. Show us again. Show us again. Show us again what you want to show us. Alright, give us some messages from this Source. What do you want us to know? Okay, they want me to stop and start again. Transformation, Pluto. What else, Source? Whoa, those cards went flying. Okay, so these went flying. Let's talk about Pluto real quick. What's on the bottom of the deck here? We have Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, being grounded. You're learning to ground this energy, this transformation. Hey, look at this. It's not been happy. This has not been pretty. Look at this. A black butterfly here? Like, come on. Let's be real. This has been difficult. Whatever it is that you've gone through has been really rough. It's been really hard. But it was for purpose. Okay, let's see what came out here. Truth, expression. Yeah, you're learning how to express yourself. You're learning how to be vulnerable and open to who you are. Release, surrender, and purge. Didn't I say that? You're purging out whatever it was. Like, this is a situation that was helping you purge all those things that you maybe had shoved down for so long. Disharmony, triggers, and conflict. Yeah, exactly. This was triggering you for purpose. This was a really difficult situation for you. This was something that was definitely near and dear to your heart. Transcendence and unity. That's why, because you're coming into a space of oneness within yourself. Connection with source. Seeds, spring. So you're planting seeds. I heard seeds of wisdom. I don't know why, but I feel like I do want to do one more shuffle here. I don't know why. No, it's not to get the twin flame card. I just feel like there's something else that wants to come through. And it feels like one message that wants to come out. No. No. I cannot make this up. That's the card that flew out. The only one that flew out. The only one that flew out. I can't. I can't. It was weird because it's like, no, I wasn't trying to. I just felt like there's another message that wanted to come out, and it was the only card. And if you guys have seen me use these cards at any amount, you know that usually a whole bunch fly out all at once. Like, look at this. Distance, repeat, or retreat, or time out. Yeah, there's been something that has pulled you away from whatever it was that you had your eye on. Trust in divine timing. Look at this. Feminine. Reunion. Oh my gosh, look at this. Deception and temptation. Nurture and compassion. Okay, we're detours. Divine interference. Alright, so we've already talked about this image. Let's honestly just take a look and see what this card is, because your guys' reading has gone longer than everybody else's. This has been perfectly clear what has wanted to go through. We have the intuitive. I am in tune to the energy of those that I care about. Number 45, which is 9, bringing this all to a close. Yeah, this has been something that's deeply, deeply, deeply connected to your heart. And I don't feel like this situation that you've gone through actually has to do with, if you are a twin, I don't feel like this has to do with your twin flame. Okay, and we all know how I feel about the twin flame journey. I feel about like a lot of people getting into it. I'm not going to go into that today or anything like that, okay? What I feel like this had to do with is that this is opening you up to who's meant to be your end all be all have all on the journey. Okay, whether that's this label or not does not ultimately matter. This label is what it is, a label, right? But it's interesting because it's the energy that I got, and it came out 3 times. It came out on the bottom of the dice, the bottom of the deck twice, and it flew out after I felt like I needed another message. Flew out, flipped out. It was like, nope, I'm here. Okay, so your pile 3, this came out 3 times, and you got the 3rd house. You may see 333 a lot, and that's just talking about creativity, creation, and your angels are with you. This is something you absolutely had to endure as part of your journey, right? So this is what I see for you, pile 3. I'm sorry it was not the topic as what we determined in the beginning. However, it was an absolutely beautiful reading, and I'm truly excited for you. I'm sending you out a big, big energetic hug because I feel like you need it. If it resonated, hit that thumbs up down below, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. But until next time, actually, I want to take a second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this beautiful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.